Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. So today the question we're going to be asking is, what happened to LaserDisc? Now, this isn't a LaserDisc, it is a DVD, but it's the same size as CD. But just imagine this like 10 times bigger, and that is what a LaserDisc is. And I myself, I remember the LaserDisc just getting first exposure to it when I was like probably a teenager. And at that time, the only thing that I really knew LaserDisc for was for karaoke. And karaoke was really big, especially in the Asian community. This is a karaoke DVD. For anybody who remembers this is Linda Trang Dai, very big in karaoke. And so karaoke was the main thing that I associated LaserDisc with. However, as I got older and I really got into home theater, I was a huge home theater nut for a while. I got into the whole world of LaserDisc as a form of movie watching. And LaserDisc was actually introduced a long time ago. Back in 1978, there was this company called MCA Discovision, and they released the first LaserDisc player. And you got to remember, at that time that it was released, VHS tapes, Sony Betamax tapes, they were just barely, becoming something that people would have in their homes. And the whole idea of having CDs still wasn't even there yet. And so LaserDisc was way, way ahead of its time. And if I remember correctly, also, the very first LaserDisc game, Dragon Slayer, was released in the early 80s. And so LaserDisc was a technology that seemed like it was from the future. And as a matter of fact, LaserDisc lasted way longer than I think like any piece of technology that I can remember, because it started in 1978, but it didn't end till like 2009. That is absolutely insane. Now, I think the main reason why LaserDisc never really caught on and became mainstream is because of two things. First is because of the size. And I wish I still had my LaserDisc player, which I'm going to talk about. It was just so massive. It's not something that you would carry around. It's not portable. And you might see this in the background. This is a Pioneer demo reel of their LaserDisc player. And Pioneer was definitely the biggest LaserDisc maker, but there were many others because of the whole fact of karaoke and the Asian markets. Panasonic made a lot of LaserDisc players as well. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is it was very expensive. Whenever this technology came out, if I remember correctly, LaserDisc players were like $1,000. And if you think about in 1978 or the early 80s, $1,000 is worth a lot. I mean, if you adjust for inflation, it's probably in the thousands just for that one player, which has very limited functionality. But as time went on, the LaserDisc became more of a niche thing, primarily for people who wanted the best quality when it came to movies. And once again, you have to remember this is the whole time period of VHS tapes, and the quality of those were absolutely horrible. So if you can afford it and you see something like LaserDisc, that was the best way to go. And I did actually get a LaserDisc player. So around like my college years, I got a Pioneer, I think it's one of the COD players. I couldn't afford the Pioneer Elites, which were basically the best when it came to LaserDisc players. And I would have loved to have that because at that time I was also one of the first people to have a Pioneer plasma television as well. And so it went perfect with that. Now, when I did have my LaserDisc player, I didn't get too many movies. I got my favorites, Star Wars, Terminator 2, and I had a few other titles. But by the time I actually was able to afford my LaserDisc player, which I absolutely love, DVD started coming out. So that was in 1995. And when I got my first DVD player and I saw the quality difference, just blew me away. But before that, there was simply nothing better than LaserDisc. I did not mind that it was big. And if anything, it just made me feel like, yeah, it was worth spending the money and my gear is awesome. And then once I watched the LaserDisc player and I had a surround sound and everything, it just took me to a whole nother world. It was the best movie experience that I ever got. But by the time, like I said, DVD players came out, it pretty much signaled the end of LaserDisc players because it just could not keep up with the quality and also the cost and also portability that DVDs afforded. And even before DVDs, we had video discs, CD videos, and so those weren't great quality, so there was still a market for LaserDisc. But once DVDs came out, I think I pretty much sold my LaserDisc player. So then I could get my first DVD player. I sold a lot of stuff actually. I got my first Toshiba DVD player. And so that's actually my whole story on LaserDisc players. I think they were an amazing technology. Once again, they were way, way ahead of their time. And now that I think about how long it lasted, I still can't think of any other piece of technology that's been relevant for so long. And I think anybody out there who really loves home theater or really high fidelity, they probably do remember the LaserDisc players. And so if you had any thoughts on LaserDisc players or even DVD players, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, share, like, and subscribe. Hey geeks, if you are a creative geek like me and you wanted to learn how to create content on YouTube and other places on the internet, then check out my Gold Content Creators Group, where you'll get access to 30 videos plus additional content for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part of it is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators Group. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.